everybody, how's it going? So I started uploading to this channel around the end of 2012. At the time, I had two businesses. I had one business that had no external investment, that was growing slowly but growing and doing well for itself, and I had another business that had quite a bit of outside investment, the supply company, that was blundering and failing terribly. And I thought that perhaps maybe I would relieve some of my stress if I just uploaded videos discussing what was going on, what I thought of what was going on in the field, what I saw about trends, and it was also kind of just like my own outlet. And I thought perhaps if I upload content discussing not only the things I think I did right, but also the things that I did wrong, maybe somebody else won't make those mistakes. And this goes back to how I grew up. I didn't grow up in the best of environments. I grew up around a lot of screaming, around a lot of selfish, disturbed individuals that just felt the need to constantly yell and scream about many things that made no sense all the time, and it wasn't very fun. And one of the things that I tried to do, since I couldn't really change a lot of my own situation, is I always thought, how can I make somebody else's life a little less shitty? How can I make the world a little less shitty? In my own corner, I'm not going to change the world in some amazing way, but just by doing whatever it is that I'm doing. How can I make the world a little bit better in my own corner? And it's something that has always brought me great joy, being able to see the results of something that I've created or something I've taught or something I've done wind up expanding outside of me in a way that helps other people. And it's something that I got to do on this channel starting when I put a lot more effort into it around 5 years ago when I started doing the component level board repair series. Most people didn't trust us. In general, independent repair technician, you're probably ripping us off. Apple said we should, the Genius Bar said you probably can't trust somebody if they say that. Oh, if somebody says they can recover your data, you might as well be throwing your money away or burning it on forums that are moderated by people that get paid 5 to 6 figure salaries by Apple. And one of the cool things is that we were able to really change that, and to a point where when people walk into an independent repair center, they actually trust what they hear if the place has good ratings more than they would trust what the $200 or $300 billion company has to say when they are saying something that is not true. And I remember being in a car with somebody after having a meeting with somebody right next door at Sahara East. I remember sipping tea with another gentleman in the industry that wanted to buy my business for not even my business, just wanted me to close my business if I took $80,000. There was a very jealous individual that was quite bothered, and I've spoken about it in previous videos, by the fact that I existed, and I didn't want to give the money. And at the end, I remember the guy saying, you're not going to change the world through computer repair. You're not going to change the world. Says the guy that was paying employees $15 an hour, and then he said he was going to give them a raise at the end of the year, and then gave them a demotion and less pay at the end of the year because we're not making money, while simultaneously leaving his Facebook page public so that everybody could see him flying around the world and drinking expensive fancy drinks at nice parties. And the guy that didn't really care if he was outsourcing everything all the way to the bitter end and never providing the best deal or value for his customer was the one telling me, and he was in a better financial position than me at the time, far better due to press coverage, that you're not going to change the world through computer repair. And one of the things that I've really appreciated through this channel is hearing the stories from those of you who not really only just people that fix their own stuff or save themselves a little bit of money, but people who started learning a skill that they thought didn't even exist anymore. I remember Ricky Began telling me back in 2007. Ricky Began told me he remembers saying, there's no point in working in any of this small stuff anymore. It's too small. It's not possible. And he was my mentor at the time. He was the best at fixing all these old consoles, Neve 2254s, 31102s, all the old stuff at Avatar. It was amazing. And, just thinking about that 12 years later, that the very thing that many people said were impossible is now something that tens of thousands of people around the country, even 15 and 16-year-olds with no experience, are not only doing, but they're growing their own businesses based on it, and maybe they will have the income that they need to be able to get away from the situations like the ones that I grew up in. And that is something that just makes me very, very happy. The ability to disprove the idea that you cannot change the world by simply doing the best you can to make the world a little less shitty in your own corner of it, whether you're pumping gas, whether you're a politician, or whether you're just a janitor, or even somebody that just cleans off the corrosion off PPVRTC underscore G3 hot. That if you care about your little corner of the world and try to fix the problems in your little corner of the world and make it a little bit better, that you can actually make the world better for tens of hundreds of thousands of people. The way I see when I open my inbox every day and I get the flood of people showing me pictures and examples of stuff that they've worked on and the stores that they've opened or the income they've added to their business, or hearing what you've done with the income you've added to your business, or showing me the testimonials from your happy customers that thought that they wouldn't be able to afford to have something that they enjoyed work again, or that they wouldn't be able to afford to have their baby pictures back, or the pictures of their vacation that they thought were backed up, that they screwed up in that one careless moment, that you were able to recover for them. That you are actually able to change the world through what you do. You've shown me that you can make the world better and improve something if you just work hard in your small little corner of it, and people share it and they learn from it, and then they share it with somebody else who then learns from it, and they share it with somebody else who then learns from it, until you get to a 7-figure number of people that are watching what you do. And being able to take part in this lesson, that if you are good, if you do care about what you do, and you do care about making the world just a little bit better in your own corner of it, that you actually can change the world. Being able to disprove that individual that tried to buy out my business 7.5 years ago out of his own jealousy, just being able to learn that lesson as a result of all of you is something that has meant everything to me.